What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is TheFlyYoungGentleman here, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about the damage model in the FPS module for Star Citizen. And it's actually really fucking interesting how it works and pretty innovative, and I felt like it needed to be shared. One really cool thing I noticed is that if you've ever played a game like Operation Flashpoint, you know about like damage systems that, like, let's say you get shot in the leg, you start walking slower. But even in that game, it's a little bit dull, right? It's a little bit dumbed down. It's really not like that realistic in terms of what's happening with your damage. But in Star Citizen, it's not the case. In fact, you can actually lose limbs, which is incredibly cool. One thing I'm liking is that you have real symptoms, like when you get shot. So you might not even be able to tell you're bleeding out, for instance, if you get shot in the hand or something. But you will be bleeding out, and you need to pay attention to signs, or even looking and visibly seeing, the trauma to the body part that is injured, which is really cool. And you don't regen health or anything, so you have to use certain items like med packs and things like that. And I think it's called a medigun that can temporarily heal you in the battle, but then you have to go back to like a med bay that'll fully treat you for like limb loss and things of that nature, which is cool. And it goes in a 4-state system of each limb, and there's 4 states of damage. You have normal, you have hurt, you have damaged, and you have ruined limbs. And pretty much the difference is like, hurt limbs can have problems with aiming, it says, walking, or other functions that would require the limb. Damaged, the limb becomes pretty much useless until they get patched up. And then ruined, are pretty much gone limbs. Like they're entirely done, and you're pretty much going to bleed out and die if you don't get any medical attention, which is pretty cool. And it's interesting how each limb is affected and how it actually affects your gameplay, right? And that you can actually see the limb being damaged, and so can other players, which is really cool. And the thing is you're not going to be able to tell that you're hurt in certain areas that you can't necessarily see, unless you have the special gear, like a special biometric scanner that would go on your suit and would kind of let you know, your overall health status, because you don't have an overall health. Like in Call of Duty, if you get shot in the hand or the foot, it's essentially the same thing. Or even in the head, your screen's gonna go red and you're gonna regen your health. But in this, what's gonna happen is that each individual body part is gonna suffer on its own, which is pretty cool. And your head's clearly gonna be a big deal. And it's broken down into 10 different limbs. You have your head, your torso, your upper right arm, your lower right arm, your left upper arm, your left lower arm, and then your right, leg, upper and lower, and your left upper and lower leg. Now, it's pretty interesting because it's measured in a percentage, right, of damage. So it's pretty cool, and I'm interested to see how the damage is going to work. But I think it's really cool, and I think it's really innovative that a game is actually going to go into this depth. Because a lot of games that, even though they do something similar, no games have actually pulled it off, because I feel like it's a lot of work. And that's the main reason they probably don't want to do it. But it's pretty cool. It's really interesting how it affects your aiming, right? Like I said, and your walking or other functions like that. And I'm really interested to see, like, maybe you're stuttering. Like maybe like when you hurt your arm, your lower arm, which includes your hand, you have trouble reloading. Because I know it'll definitely affect your aim and things like that. I wonder what will happen if you get hit in the head, right? I wonder what the health and the overall functions that are going to be lessened and a lot harder to do if you get hit in the head. And because they said it is hard to instantly kill people in this game, and then one thing is that they're trying to make it so that you don't want to die in this game. It's going to be hard to die in this game, and that when you do die, it's going to be a big deal. And but also that they can take you captive, and also you can be drag around. Like, let's say your legs are gone and you're bleeding out and you're fucked up on the ground. Like, your teammates can come and drag you and bring you to safety and maybe heal you a little bit, so they can get you to like a med bay, for instance. But also the enemy team can come up to you and drag your ass into their lines, right? And then maybe take you captive, and maybe try and pull a negotiation kind of thing going on. It's with a hostage situation, or who knows. Fairly interesting, and I think some really cool things are going to come out of it. And I really thought it was worth talking about. It's definitely something that I'm really excited for, and I think it was really innovative. And I'd love to see what you guys have to say about it in the comment section down below. And yeah, so remember to have class, get that ass, and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.